In the heart of the mist-covered Scottish Highlands, where legends are carved into the very stone of the mountains, one name echoes through the ages: William Wallace. His story is not just one of history, but of a fierce, unyielding spirit that would ignite a nation's quest for freedom. Born around 1270, Wallace grew up in a Scotland increasingly under the thumb of England's King Edward I. The land was a tapestry of simmering resentment, with English garrisons and oppressive laws casting a long shadow over Scottish life. In the quiet villages and bustling towns, the seeds of rebellion were sown, waiting for a leader to galvanize the people's discontent into a unified cry for independence. The atmosphere was tense, as Scottish lords were forced to swear fealty to a foreign king, and common folk suffered under the weight of English rule. The spark finally caught fire following a personal tragedy that fueled Wallace's resolve. He gathered a small, determined band of patriots and launched a series of daring guerrilla attacks against English outposts. What began as localized skirmishes soon swelled into a full-scale rebellion. The turning point came at the Battle of Stirling Bridge in 1297, where Wallace's brilliant tactical mind led a vastly outnumbered Scottish army to a stunning victory. By using the narrow bridge as a choke point, his forces overcame a heavily armored English cavalry, a victory that sent shockwaves through the English establishment and proved that the mighty army of Edward I was not invincible. Following this incredible triumph, Wallace was knighted and proclaimed the Guardian of Scotland. He was no longer just a rebel leader, but the de facto ruler of his nation, governing in the name of the exiled King John Balliol. He worked to restore order, forge diplomatic ties with Europe, and prepare Scotland for the inevitable English retaliation. For a brief, glorious period, Wallace was the embodiment of a free Scotland, a symbol of hope and defiance against overwhelming odds. However, the tide turned at the brutal Battle of Falkirk in 1298. Edward IV, leading his army in person, employed longbowmen to devastating effect, shattering the Scottish formations and inflicting a crushing defeat. Wallace was forced into hiding, becoming a fugitive in the very land he had fought to liberate. For years, he evaded capture, a phantom of the resistance, until he was betrayed by a Scottish nobleman and handed over to the English in 1305. Dragged to London, Wallace faced a show trial and was condemned for treason. He was subjected to a gruesome public execution, a fate designed by King Edward to break the spirit of the Scottish people. Yet in death, Wallace achieved what he could not in his final years of life. His martyrdom became a powerful rallying cry, inspiring others, most notably Robert the Bruce, to take up the mantle of leadership. Wallace's sacrifice watered the seeds of freedom, culminating in Scotland's eventual independence. Today, his legacy endures, immortalized in stone and in the heart of a nation, a timeless symbol of the fight for liberty,